So I got myself my first project. Thought I'd have a go at this mini traction engine. It's going to be a bit of a long-term project, of course, but I've got a full set of castings to get going with. Now the book says to start with the boiler. So let's start with the flywheel. So this is the first part I've ever made on a lathe. So I brought two of these. The first one I did mess up, but it was just mostly for learning, and it had some hard spots in which ruined my tools. Gonna have a go on this one. First step is to clean up all the extra material around the spokes with some files. Coming into winter at the moment, so the annoying noise in the background is just a diesel heater. We've got some diamond files here. So these are a combination of the flat, the round and the pointy ones, just to try and get in the different areas. This can only go well. This was a long process, but I just took my time with it and tried to be as accurate as possible. And as I got closer down to the metal shapes, I used a felt tip marker just to coat the surface so that I could see more clearly where the file was cutting. I felt it'd be a bit too easy otherwise to flatten off the round curvature of the spoke. The machine's running at its slowest speed here, and I was using the auto feed, which was also set to the slowest speed, because at the time I didn't realise there were some switches to change the gears to change the speed that moves across. I'll have to experiment with that. The next step was to centre drill and then step up and drill sizes, and then finally ream the centre hole, and then I moved on to facing the front of the flywheel. After turning this face to dimension, I set up this indicator so that I could move the cutting tool 5.5mm outwards and then set the carriage stop, which gives me the length that this needs to be. So now I can turn that down to length until I hit the carriage stop, and then that will be the same as the measurement on the diagram for how far this sticks out from the face. Now that's down to the right dimension. The next thing I'm going to do is just to cut out the inside of this, just to clean it up so it runs concentric with the outside. Seems to have cleaned up okay. The diagram calls for this part to be tapered. I couldn't work out what dimension it should be or what angle, so I just did it by eye with trial and error until it looked okay. After this, I took it out of the chuck, flipped it around, and then did all of the same operations on the other side of the flywheel. I turned a bit of aluminium up so that I could spin the flywheel up. It wobbled quite a bit, which was disappointing. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. There's a bit of a wobble on it. I think maybe part of the reason was because there was some hard metal in there and maybe the drill wandered. But probably more the case that I made a mistake. So I thought as an experiment what I might try and do is drill that hole out larger and then machine down a bit of cast iron to glue back in there, and then fix this in the jaw and try drilling it again, see what happens. But other than that, fairly happy with how the rest of it turned out. I can't take any more down to try and reduce the wobble because everything's at dimension to the plans, which I'm pretty happy with, and I don't want to reduce the weight of it anymore. So that can only go well. Let's give it a go. Drilled it out, and the reamer for the size that I need now goes through the hole without touching the sides. So therefore I should be able to cut a core of material in there and then drill and beam to the size I want. Hopefully more accurate this time without digging into any of the original material. that plan seemed to work out just fine. It's looking much better now. That's all the work I'm going to do on the flywheel for now. I need to put some sort of keyway in, but I'll leave that until further down the line when I've made more parts.